Machine learning. What is it and how does it work? Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence includes the application of machine learning. So what's the difference? Artificial intelligence refers to the idea that machines can carry out tasks smartly versus machine learning, which is an idea based upon letting machines learn from given data. So what's the difference between typical programming and machine learning? Well, in typical programming, you put in the input and the rules in order to generate an output value. In machine learning, you put an input and the output in order to generate your rules. There is 4 different types of machine learning. Well, 4 main types. There's supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Each type is different and has their own separate sets of algorithms that account for how the machine learns. The first type of learning we're going to talk about is supervised learning. In supervised learning, the machine is trained with a labeled set of data. There's 2 main types of supervised learning: classification and regression. Now let's talk about how they differ. In classification, it learns how to classify data. For example, putting in new points into this graph shows what type of music it could possibly be. In regression, the relationship is often linear, and it is looking for the relationship between x and y in order to estimate a y value from a given x. Now let's talk about unsupervised learning. In unsupervised learning, the training data is usually unstructured or unlabeled data. There's 2 main types of unsupervised learning: clustering and association. In clustering, the goal is to group the data together based on similarities in the input data. In association is when the goal is to discover the rules that apply to the majority of the data. In semi-supervised learning, some of the training data is labeled. However, some is not. The most common example of this is when looking at images. For example, let's take all of these 3 pictures of trees. However, only one is labeled as a tree. However, because one is labeled, we can then guess that the rest are all trees. Now let's talk about reinforcement learning, where the machine is trained to get a desired output. There's 2 types: positive and negative. Positive reinforcement is like winning a game or winning points. For example, in a game of chess, I would set it to capture the other side's king. However, in negative reinforcement, it's like losing a game or losing points. So I would set it to not lose chess pieces.